So there are 50,000 stocks in the world. There are at least 3,000 of them that are severely underpriced. I just need to understand 3 or 4 of them. One of the problems we have in India is we have a lot of fraud. You know what you do? You know how you select? I got this straight from Warren and Charlie.
Yeah.
How many analysts does Charlie have? 0. Warren, 0. Okay? Warren has got the whole Berkshire Hathaway, everything going on, still 0 analysts. Okay? So actually, we don't need analysts. Why do we not need analysts? I only need to find 2 or 3 stocks in a year. I have enough time to find 3 stocks, no problem.
Okay.
You know, to find 3 stocks, why you need 10 people? So there are 50,000 stocks in the world. There are at least 3,000 of them that are severely underpriced, if not more. I probably cannot understand most of those 3,000. I just need to understand 3 or 4 of them. That's it. So it's not very difficult. One of the things about capitalism is that many small companies will never become big companies. They will always stay small. Okay? A very small number of companies actually have something unusual that will allow them to grow, because capitalism is very brutal. Okay, so like you said in Hong Kong, these companies have issues. The moment they have issues, we are moving on. So if the issue is with the people, I'm definitely not interested. So if you notice the Sunteck and Rain Industries, the people are very high quality. Okay, I don't have governance issues or anything with the people. They are very high quality people. The businesses are, you know, it is possible now, like I'll give you the example of Sunteck. The guy who is the promoter of Sunteck, he owns 68% of the company. So if it has a $1 billion value, his family has 680 million in wealth in the company. So one of the questions I have is, he's in India. 680 million is a lot of money in India, right? It would be like 680 million in China. So one of my questions is this guy going to still keep working hard, right? Because it's a lot of money, right? And I have to make the assessment. And my assessment with him was, yeah, because I talked to him. I said, listen, your company is $1 billion. Do you have aspirations for it to be 10 billion? He said, yes. I said, what are you going to do with the money? He said, I had not thought about that. You know, but he wants to drive, right? He wants to drive. Now, it doesn't mean he'll get there, but at least he needs to have some ambition to go there. The same thing with Rain. I am convinced that he has 0 interest in money. I think Rain, the family owns 40% of about 500 million. So their family has about 200 odd million today, but they don't care about that. They just want to keep going. So yeah, so I think it is true that a lot of small companies will never become big companies. It is true that if you have governance issues with the people, I think you should just take a pass, because I think that then you're playing uphill battle and such. But as long as you can find the business economics are good and the people are good and the value is low, then we can make something happen. And the good thing with investing is there are so many stocks that one of my commandments was to be unreasonable. Okay? There's so many other stocks that if everything is not perfect, just say no, toss it. Go to the next one. Again, say no, toss it. So keep tossing. Be a harsh grader. And that'll generally work out well. In India, we will not invest, because one of the problems we have in India is we have a lot of fraud. Okay, so in the US, I will lose money because I'm stupid, but I'm not going to lose money because of fraud. Okay, so I have actually met with companies in India which are total frauds. I'm in the room meeting them, and it's obvious the whole thing's a fraud, you know, once you start looking at what's going on. So far in India, we have never lost money because of fraud, and that's one of the things I want to protect against. The second thing is that in India, most of the companies, they are majority promoter owned. Okay, and so then one of the issues is that many of them don't think it's a public company. They think it's their own company. And the fact that they're public, they ignore it. Sometimes that's a negative because they don't care about the outside shareholders and such. So I definitely want to make sure that the business that we're investing in, the accounting is clean, the auditor is correct, the money is actually there, the guy is honest, and the person is governance best practices for the outside shareholder. So all those things become relevant. But the advantage that India has versus the US is a lot of companies are underfollowed or they are not well understood. And so I can find more gap between price and value. In the US, what has happened is that we used to have 8,000 public companies about 25 years ago. Now that number is 3,600. So it went down from 8,000 to 3,600. And the number of analysts and funds following those companies has skyrocketed. So it's much harder to find value gaps in the US versus India. So you have to adjust. So you have to adjust the tool set. And I think probably similar adjustments in China as well, because you've got to make sure that the baseline is set where you're not looking at a fraudulent company, it's a real business, and the people are high quality and so on.